Hey guys, how you doing? We are going to do some color pencil work on our face that we drew. Now, as you know, we drew the face and I clear gessoed over it. Basically what clear gesso is acrylic paint without pigment in it. So, you don't have to do this. Essentially what it does, what I find it does for me is, because you see I've erased, I've had hair, like all that, it kind of seals that in. So now what I put on top, it'll uh, kind of cover that in a sense. If you don't have clear gesso, you can take white acrylic paint, like I've told you before. The cheaper the better if you're going to use it for a gesso type thing, and mix it with a little bit of water to make it a little bit more water, and a little bit more see-through, and painting over your painting, and you want it thin enough so you can see a little bit of what's coming through where you drew, and you'll be good to go. Or you can just use a plain matte medium, a Mod Podge, whatever. Will do the same exact thing. So you're good to go. So I'm using colored pencils, and I just grabbed a few. White is my favorite. So, and it's a blender to me. It is not a blender pencil, however, but it is a just a white colored pencil. It comes in every package usually that you buy of regular, and these are regular colored pencils, not watercolor, regular. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with a darker color. These two I'll probably wait. I will start off with like a darker brown. This color is burnt ochre, but whatever you have. And I know when I'm going in, and you want to be very light. You don't want to push hard. You want to just go over it. Underneath the eyes, around the line of the nose, or where you're going to find your shadows. Above the eye. Because we're also going to add lighter colors too to blend it, so don't worry. This is just a general idea. You go and pick the colors that you like. Go around the shape of her face, just very lightly. Don't push hard. You're just holding it. And what I like about the clear gesso, if I suggest anything to you on something to get, like if you're like, what one thing, clear gesso is it. Clear gesso is fantastic and can be used for so many different things. When you're painting or coloring, this has a little tooth to it. You don't have to have it, obviously. You could definitely do without. Now I'm going to go around the whole and just trace, kind of go around my face here. And move your notebook or paper as you do it. I usually, as I'm taping, I try not to as I record. Under here, we know it's a little darker. Very lightly. We know like the shadow of the lips, so I'll go around the lips a little bit. Underneath the nose, we know there's a little bit of darkness. Very simple. Above the eyebrow. Now we know her eyebrows will go in here, so I'm going to take very lightly and just see, I'm barely touching it, and I'm just going in a single line just so I get an idea of where the eyebrows are. Let me see if I can bring you in a little closer. So I want to make sure you guys can see this, because I know a lot of you work with color pen, like we've talked about, you're in bed, you can't move, you want to do something. This is a great way. If you want to use watercolor pencils, by all means, go ahead. Start out the same way we're doing, and then go in with your brush, and do that. It's all up to you. But like I said, right now you can be using Crayola colored pencils, Reeves. These happen to be Prismacolors. You can buy these single at AC Moore. I think Michael's has them too. If you want like a starter if you want me to give you like a starter, how you say, colors that I use the most of, I will be glad to, because there are certain colors just to get facial feature, the face done, that I use. This, like I said, this is burnt ochre. And, and there, you could probably buy 4 or 5 and on your way to doing your faces in these colored pencils, and they're great. And they're like $1 a piece, something like that. Maybe $1.10. I can't recall. But to get a few just to have in your, in your little carrying case, which, and that's coming up this week, is what to pack for you to sit in bed and, oh, my neighbor's kids are screaming, what to do to sit in bed and do these kind of things, or on the couch or whenever, if you're not feeling well and you really can't get out, but you want to do something. You don't necessarily just have to do faces. We'll do other things. But this is what I'm doing for this, if that makes sense to you. And like I said, you want the lightest touch. There's nothing worse that I hate than kids screaming. Not kids playing. Kids playing don't bother me. It's that fucking scream. Excuse me. That's screaming. And over here, we're going to I'm barely touching it. And it's lifting up. I mean, it's just putting the color on there. I'll go around the lips a little bit, because we can always tone that down. Don't be afraid. Go around her eye a little bit. Now we know her forehead. Now, we all have this T-zone, which is the nose, kind of right there. So we kind of want to leave that a little lighter, like on that nose area. So let's just say, and trace over we're just going to say that's her head. We're just going to kind of finish it. Do you know what I mean? We'll go over it with hair and all, and I'm not worried about it. But let's just go in and go around. And what I'll do is I'll end up making her hair a darker color than this with our brush, but just so you get an idea. Like I said, real light. I'm holding the pencil way back here, you see? And I'm just going to kind of go in like that. And then over here, go underneath her eye just a little bit. It'll be a little lighter on this side, but it really doesn't matter if you do it and it comes out a little darker. Like I said, I'm just holding it like a... So you see, that's the basic general... And this is how I'm holding it. I'm just like very lightly, okay? And this is called burnt ochre. So let me just show you. That's our face so far, okay? What do I say that like? Okay? Okay? If they did like a sound bite of me, that's what I would be saying. Okay? 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 All right. Now let's go in for a lighter color. So I have here yellow ochre. And I pulled out both yellow ochres. But then now I'm going to go in and halfway into the brown, and I'm holding it the same way, you see. Halfway into that dark brown, I'm just giving a little, because we're going to go blending it in a little bit. And I'm just going over it a little bit, just on the outside parts. And pulling it into the middle a little bit more, you see. So I'm half into the brown part, but I'm pulling in. So it's going to blend. Now, this is how I do it. Other people do it differently. If you do it differently than I, have at it. I think it's fantastic. I think art can be done a million different ways. This is just how I do it, but like I said, you can do it whatever way you want. And I'm going to go underneath here and hit that, hit over the lips a minute. Now the nice thing with having the clear gesso over it is you can see it sharpens. So, you can always turn it over halfway through to make it more of your point. You don't have to, it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to take my, what color are you? Light peach. And it looks like it probably there's a few that I have that the things come out of it, the wax, so I have to be gentle, which I'm gentle anyway, because I'm just a gentle soul. And now we're going to go over, and we're going to go in that rest of that white, and halfway into the last color that we did like we do, and we're going to take it down. Take it down, down, down. Go up in here. And everywhere that we didn't put, except in the eyeball, of course, everywhere that we didn't have color. And you still see, I'm still holding it very light. That'll be a good giveaway. Maybe I'll pick my main colors of my face. And I'm just kind of going over the brown a little bit. Our first color. These blend beautifully together. I'm going to turn it over because it's starting to get sharp because of the gesso. And you know what I forgot to do? Because I'm not even thinking? Let's go and do our neck. What was I thinking? Apparently, I wasn't thinking very good. Okay. So again, very lightly, our burnt ochre. Maybe that'll be our next gift. Let me know underneath this if you would like a giveaway of just the few that I use here to get our face color to start you out. And I'm doing the same thing. You see how I'm doing? Going in, same color, which I should have done while I was doing, but I want to make sure that and our peach. And it just, you just get that shading of the eye. So now can you see the face so far? Kind of creepy looking. Now comes the magic. Now we're going to make the face blend. So we're going to take our white. I love my white. And what we're going to do is we're going to start the same way we started with the dark. We're going to go the dark, the light. We're going to hold this a little bit tighter and do a little bit tighter of a little bit harder of a push with our fingers. So we're going to go in here. And this is going to make it all blend together. Now, if you want to go over it now with, acrylic paint, you can. But I'm just going to see how I'm doing. And I'm going to do one side and then show you the other side on how the different it looks. Now, like I said, you do want to push a little bit harder. Just a little bit harder than you did on the other. About half of her nose. Just because it'll blend in. I go through so many whites, I can't tell you. But I want to show you that I'm going to have to sharpen this way. No. I think you could probably already see the smoothness coming. Can you see the smoothness and the... I get so excited when this part happens. It's like magique. That's my accent for the day. Magique. It's so fun to do. It's so fun to use color pencils. So I'm just going to sharpen this a little bit more. And go in. And I'm going to do half the face, like I said, so you can see what it looks like. Give her a little highlight on her nose. Now, if you don't gesso this, there's no big deal. You don't have to. I only did because of the mess up I made underneath, when I was drawing. But you don't have to. It's not a big deal. And everywhere I have my pencil, I'm just going to go over. Okay, let's go over her neck. Okay. It's generally, I gotta sharpen again, so I'm not gonna waste your time as much, but let's look. Can you see the difference? This is the colored pencil side, and this is the that we haven't smoothed out yet. And can you see? I mean, it's kind of close, but can you see the difference already? Now we're going to go back in and do a little bit more structure of it, but look how beautiful that looks. It's absolutely, I mean, it's great. Let me go in and sharpen my pencil again. And when it's all done, you know, together, you're going to really see, I mean, you can already see half of like right here, and on the nose, the highlight coming through. So let's just start the other side, shall we? Again, a little bit heavier on the hand than you did with the first colors. Get that brow up here a little bit lighter. And we're going to give her a little bit of cheeks, a little bit of blush, a little bit of blushy look. This is so much fun. And like I said, to sit in bed when you're not feeling good and then get such great results. Get such great results. You know what I mean? Playing with very lightly over that. You know, you feel like a mad superstar. Like you rock. Because you do. Like I said, you go through white like crazy because it is kind of your blender. And it blends them all together beautifully. And like I said, you don't have to gesso, remember that. And I'll show you these on the other page without it gessoed so you can see the difference. I'm just kind of going in and smoothing where I see that I missed with my white, which you'll see. Now, because I gessoed, you're going to be able to see my gesso brush strokes underneath. I'm not really worried about that. I don't care. Those things don't bother me. But if they bother you, don't gesso. And that's why I said I'll show you the colors. We'll do a quickie on the next page just so you can see. Alright, so I kind of have. Now I know her highlight in here. I'm already down to my nub. See how fast the white goes? I always have extra whites because every time I go I pick up a white because I go through them like crazy. But I'm going to take her nose up and we're going to give her highlighted nose. And we're just going to take it over this way a little bit. Just to lighten that up a little bit and a little bit over here. Just a little bit over. Nothing major. Her hair is going to cover a lot of that. But just so you can kind of see that highlight. Can you see the highlight? Okay. Now, I'm going to go back in with my burnt ochre. You can also use burnt umber if you have it. It's up to you. It just happens to be what I grabbed. This is my supply of color pencils that I use. So I have like 6 different browns. I have everything. So you just grab what you grab. And I'm going to go back in and I'm going to just go over that line because I know I got my little shadow there. And I'm just going to go, I mean, this is very lightly again. And under our nose, I'm just going to trace her nose a little bit with the brown because, you know, it's kind of a a darker place. And just very lightly, I'm just going to go around her eye again. We already have our shadows in, but it doesn't hurt to go back in. Again, we play. Okay, we know right here, it's a little, I'm just going to go a little light. And a little bit under her chin here. And we'll lighten that up a little bit, but that's basically where, and we'll go trace her face out again in a minute. And we're just kind of doing that just so we get our little bit of shadows that we want. We know under there. And we're pretty good. This is just beginners. This isn't, you know. And then just take your light peach or your, there's a great color called, is this it? It's a cream color. Oh, I love it. Let's use that. I'll use this real quick. And just go in and blend. And look how beautiful this cream blends. It's a little bit better than the peach. Depends on my mood. But look how beautiful that blends in. I mean, it's beautiful. And then just very easily go over that line so we can see. And then we go under and under. And we'll just do that. She needs sharpened, obviously. You can see these are well loved and well used. Just give her a little bit of a sharpen, and then we'll go over this eye. Okay. Go over her neck. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this color in here so it's not so white, but you're adding a nice cream color. And I'm just kind of blending it. Look how pretty. Okay. So I'll have to add that onto the list. Okay, so now we have our beautiful shaded face. I said beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a blue. This is Peacock Blue. And I'm going to do her eyes blue. And I've looked everywhere for my green eye thing, and I am very angry at the least that I cannot find it. So I'm going to buy another one today. And then, because I miss it, and I'm using, so many things I want to do, and I can't do it without it. And I want to show you guys it. So if I buy another one today and I come across my old one, then I will have a giveaway, and somebody lucky will, if you don't mind having something used, we'll get one of them. It has to be around here somewhere. All right, so anyway, I'm outlining, and I'm going to do her eyes blue. So I'm outlining in a darker shade of blue, okay? And I'm going to do the same here. And just giving her a nice outline. Now let me tell you, there are two different kinds of, these are Verathins Prismacolors, okay? These are called Premier. So you can definitely see the difference. I had bought these first and then fell in love with these. So you can use whichever. I happen to have both, not all bought at the same time, believe me. But I like these better, the thicker ones. But those are great to outline in. So it's like, you know, whatever you have the money and, you know, whatever if you're going to buy some. And like I said, I am going to give you the list of a few that you have to buy. And like I said, maybe I'll do a giveaway and buy a few just so you could do the coloring of your face, because you can do the eyes with whatever you want. Markers, paints, other color pencils. Any color pencil, like I said, will work. This is called True Blue. And then I'm going to take my white again, and I'm going to go in just on the eyes, and it smooths them out. And you'll see what I mean. And yes, it makes it look lighter because we're blending. But we'll just go back over. And I'm pushing a little bit hard. What happened to my blue? And then I'm going to go back in and not push as hard, but just add the color, laying the color down. Do the same with this one. I'm trying to go fast, so I don't have you guys here forever. All right, and then we'll go in with a black marker. And trace that. And then color it in. Now you can obviously use a black color pencil too. It just happens to be what I'm using. Okay. Now I'm going to take, what color are you? I'm going to go in and trace her nostrils. This might be a little too dark, but I'm not going to worry about it. I just really want you guys to see. And then you know we have our little line here. Just so it adds. And we can always shade it out, don't worry. And then I have black cherry I don't want to do. I want to get it darker. All right, we'll do her lips processed red, which is like a fuchsia color. And I'm just going to go in and trace the lips. And go in and color them. And by rule's sake, which I don't always follow rules, but the bottom lip is always a little lighter because of the way the shadows fall and everything like that. But I'm going to color this. And so we have our that. And then I'm going to take my white. And I'm going to go over it on the inside. And I'm going to go over it on the bottom to give it a smoother consistency. But then when I go over it again, I'm going to do this up here dark again. See, it's much smoother. And then when I come back here, I'm going to kind of do a round. And very lightly take the color over, just so it's a little bit lighter. I'll show you so far. So that's what we got so far. So let's get to those eyes, because we're almost done here. Oh, I know what I was going for. Find a dark brown. Meh. Here's a dark brown. That's one of the Verathins right there. Not Tuscan red, mulberry. I'm colorblind, so everything dark looks brown to me. Light umber. We shall use light umber. Or let's, no, you know what we're going to use? We're going to use dark brown to do this, to trace out her eyes. So let's go and trace her eyes out. And there's one. Look at the difference. And then we'll trace this one. And you might have to go over it a couple times. And there's her second eye. And let's do her eyebrows. Nothing fancy, just a quick once over. You can play with the eyebrows whatever way you want. I'm just putting them in. You could put the hairs or make them more real, you know, like however you like eyebrows. Everybody's eyebrows are different. Over here, I want this a little darker, so I'm going to go over this a little bit more right here. I'm going to go in with some black cherry. Go around her lips. And then we'll take a little bit of the lighter brown. This is light umber. I'm gonna put that. See how the wax falls out? And then you stick it back in, or I've even used just my fingers. Sometimes it happens. Take my white, sharpen it again. Go in there and cream that out a little bit in the middle. Very happy with that. If you want to do a little bit of cheekage, let's see if I have a light pink. Like the one I used all up and didn't have anymore. A lot of fuchsia. Here is pink. It's just called pink. If you want, you can kind of just give her very lightly. So she has a little apple cheek kind of look to her. Very pretty. Go back in with your, what color are you? Light peach, or we'll use our light color. Just go over it real quick, just to kind of blend it in with the rest. I'm going to blend in this a little bit here, a little bit here, just so it's not so harsh. And then go over here, blend in her little blush. And then hair. I'll just pick what I have here. Some black cherry or black grape. We'll do black cherry. And what I'll do is, since I'm gonna kind of give her a quick hairstyle so y'all don't have to. And you can paint her hair in. You can use your colored pencils, watercolor pencils, whatever you want. I'm just trying to give you an idea. Remember, this is just the main structure, the main parts, and the rest is up to you. This is teaching you how to do it. How you do it is your choice. If you look at it and say, you know what, I don't like how she did this, but I like how I do this, and you like a different way that you do it, do it. I just want to give you basics, and y'all go from there. If you copy exactly what I do, I don't care. If you do it the same colors, I don't care. It doesn't matter. And see how they come to life when you start coloring them? I'm going to need sharpen again. If I could just get this done without having to sharpen it. I doubt it. Nope, gotta sharpen. Oh, see, and that lead broke. So I just take my hands. I don't like to waste anything. It'll be a little darker because I'm pushing harder, but oh God, I'm not in the mood for that. I was doing so good. They do have a special pencil sharpener for the Prisma. I use the dollar one that holds all your things. It probably needs emptied. Let me just sharpen this up for a second. And yell for my husband. Dave, he has to go out. Alright. Sorry, my dog had to go out. Let me just get the rest of her. Alright, so we got this going. Sorry about my dogs barking. I hate when I watch people's videos and kids scream or dogs bark, but my dog's barking. Alright, so you get the idea. And then, like I said, you just go in and kind of play around till you have it the way you like it. If you want, you know, her hair to come in down here, like on through her neck, like another layer, just draw that up. All right, give her a little bit of hair back here. Okay, so there we go. We did our little girl. So that's our full face. So what we would do is we would cut her out. And I'll have to do that at another time because I see my videos getting long. And if you want, you can definitely put lashes on her. Yeah, it's however you see her, however you want her. And that's what we have. Like I said, the hair, I would go back over with, like I said, I'm not going to bore you, but I would go back over with the cream and blend it. Can you see how it's blending? It's hard to, how it's blending on there. Well, now it'll be resharpened. And then I'd go back over with the color again, or I would just paint it or whatever. But you get the idea of the face and the shading. And then, you know, my favorite thing in the world, I don't know if I wish my dogs would be quiet out there. That would be great. I like putting little, brings the eyes to life for me. The white dots. You just got to wipe them off every now and then because the wax will. But then she gets a little white and brings her eyes to life. And that, my dear, my loves, is our shaded face. I really wish you could see it better. And that's with colored pencils. So, and I could go on and, you know, whatever, but this is the basic. Whatever kind of hair you want to give her, whatever you want to do. And this is on gesso. So let me just show you very quickly. If I were to draw, let's just do this very quickly. And obviously it's too quick because the eyes aren't coming out like I want them, but we're just going to do like this. But here's the point. We take our colors that we like to use for the face, and we're going to color it in. And this is in non-gesso, and I want to show you how it blends. So we're going to do we're going to do around her eye. I'm just doing one side. And then I'll go in with my next color. And then the next color. And let's say we'll do the lips. Okay, and then we'll take our white. And I'm going to blend this. Now this is going to blend in a different sense because we don't have the gesso underneath. And that's not a bad thing. The gesso adds tooth. So this is, you know, this is how you play. So we're blending now to get her face. We're blending her lips. And I'm not going to spend the time to make like a good face color like I did the last one. I just want to show you the blending without gesso. So you don't need gesso. And then we'll just go over her lips again. And it does go on a lot smoother without the gesso. I like gesso, you know, like I said, when I draw, if I really mess up sometimes, I don't use it because I can just draw it out and not have big mess. Or I know I'm going to cut it. But it does give you a much smoother. Let me do my cream here. And I'll bring it up to the camera. It's so hard to see. And I know I'm in the way. And I'm going to add a little bit of the oh, my dogs. That's all I hear. Okay. Let's do a little bit of this. And you can make her any skin tone. You don't have to you can make it a darker skin tone. She can, you can play around with the colors. I just want to show you how smooth this gets with no gesso. So gesso is not a priority. And no, this is not a nice colored face like I did the other one. I know. But I'm not too worried because I think you'll get the idea. Look how smooth, if we can focus. Look how smooth the lips are in the face. So if you don't gesso, it doesn't make a difference. It makes it actually much more smoother. So remember that. So either way is good. Neither way is bad. These pencils are very waxy and they are fantastic. So I'm going to look and see. And then you see how this came out. The face has some texture. Now the next face I do, I'll use these colored pencils and I won't gesso. So you can definitely see the whole project in it the way that it, you know, in a full good way. Like I see under the neck, like when I look into the camera, because it's hard when I'm right up on it, like I see like I don't like that the way the chin is on there, but I can fix it with just a little bit and that'll just be a shadow. But you see the difference, you can see the texture underneath, which I think is awesome. But like I said, you don't need the texture. And you get this nice smooth, it's fantastic. So what I'm going to do, and I'm going to write it down because I'm the worst ever at remembering things. And I'm going to do that right now while I'm here. And see if I can, what the heck is this? Come on now. I just want a piece of paper. Everything has to be so much. Just please. Give me a piece of paper. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down. Okay, I need my. I could empty that. Gotta buy a Prismacolor sharpener because it does make all the difference with these pencils. I know that, I mean, I'm not one to like fall into like buy this and then buy this that goes with it and this, but I have had two and I've used them so much that I've broken them and I need to get another one. These are $1 at the AC Moore. Maybe I'll pick one up when I go. I mean, you can see how full it is and I use it all the time. So they work wonderfully for everything. But I need my ruler. And then what colors did we use here? We used burnt ochre, light umber. I know we used cream, white, I think this is peach, light peach, yellow ochre, white. I already wrote white down. Yeah, those are the basic colors for the face. Burnt ochre and light umber and cream and white and light peach and yellow ochre. So I'm gonna see about it within the next few weeks getting these and maybe doing a giveaway on it. If you guys are interested, let me know before I go out and buy them. But in the video, I mean in the thing down below, let me know if you'd be interested in them or if you already have them. Let me know and let me know, you know, when you use them. And this could be your start. And this could be your face palette that you put into your, you know, when you're sitting and not feeling well and wanting to color, and you can get your whole face palette and draw and do your whole face and everything and do a bunch of faces. And then when you're able to get to your paint or your watercolor or whatever, and then you can add on her hair. So, you know, because you know I'm going to end up cutting her hair off when I go to put her on anything, and I'll show you when I cut her out. So these are really awesome, and I wanted to, like I said, show you, and that's a nice shaded face. and I'm very happy. So that might be a giveaway coming up, a few of those colored pencils. So we did our face. That's it. Next week we're starting on our Angel Christmas mixed media piece. So make sure you have your piece that you're working on. Go to the dollar store or to any of the craft stores and buy whatever Christmas paper, like scrapbook paper, 2 or 3 pieces that they have on sale, clearance, or at the dollar store, 1 or 2 pieces is fine. And if you can't do that, we have other ways to do it. So don't worry if you can't do that, but at least get your canvas itself ready. And all I'm doing is taking my cardboard and gluing a piece of paper that came in a package, whether it be tissue paper, that paper, I don't know. It's like one of those papers that comes like in shoes and stuff like that. It's a little thicker of a paper. So that's how we're going to start, and we'll start that next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave me a comment below. If you're not already subbed, please sub. If you want to follow me, go to my About section on my main YouTube page. It's user/knitting and things, and you can follow me there. I put all my links to Instagram and Pinterest, so you can follow me everywhere. Which I would love. And like I said, if you're not subbed to me, please sub to me. And if you are subbed to me, I love you guys. Thank you so much. You make me smile every day. And I hope you guys show me all your pictures of your mixed media girl. Like I said, I'm going to cut this out and then show you guys what it would be like on a different, you know, if we wouldn't have put her and done her, how we would do it, or even maybe even do another one just with her at another point. And I hope you guys have a great day. Be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. I hope you guys learned something from me here. Let me know. I love your comments. And if you like this, give me a thumbs up. I love drawing. I love coloring and the shading and the doing the whole thing. And like I said, I hope you guys learned something. So thank you guys so much. And like I said, if you're not already subbed, hit me up. I love you guys. Have a great day, and I can't wait to see what you guys did, and I can't wait to start next week with our new mixed media piece. I got a lot of people writing me saying, you know, I want to do this with you, so I want to give you a heads up of a few things that you can use. And I have a quick video that will be up tomorrow of a few ways to add texture and kind of stamps and all that goes kind of along with the foam stamps that I did, that I got requests for that. So this is with rubber bands and such, and so that's about it. So I hope to see you guys and what you did with this. You can use everything from Crayola pencils to color pencils to whatever you have. So love you guys. Thanks a lot. I'm rambling. Bye-bye.